Today, there are 2 million descendants of French-Canadian immigrants living in New England. These are our stories. Welcome to the French-Canadian Legacy Podcast.
Venez tous jeunes filles et garçons, je vais vous raconter l'histoire de notre immigration ici au USA, de grands aventuriers de pays étrangers.
This is the French-Canadian Legacy Podcast. I am Jesse Martineau, and this is going to be a different episode for us today. I'm joined right off the bat by Mike Campbell.
Hello.
And Tim Beaulieu. Beaulieu. I got to get Tim Beaulieu, who's the man behind PoutineFest, and the entire reason we are doing this is because we have a PoutineFest episode, kind of like our wrap-up of what was an awesome event. So, Mike, Tim, thank you guys for joining. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, no problem.
So, big picture, obvious question. Tim, what did you think? How did you think PoutineFest went down?
I thought it was great. In our fourth year, I thought it was our best event to date. Loved the new venue. Great work with Anheuser-Busch. We had some vendors that were super jacked up this year and just ready to go. I'll tell you, that's a huge part of it, those guys. It was great. We saw lots of shirts from our previous events from the last 3 years.
We sure did.
So, yeah. So, overall, we were excited. It was a great event.
Very cool.
This was my first year attending it. And
yeah, what did you think, Mike?
I had a fantastic time. Everyone was super friendly. We were lucky enough to interview a bunch of just random people, and they all seemed to be having a great time.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that you're going to hear, because when we were deciding, as we were walking through the crowd, who we were going to grab for interviews for this episode, and one of the people we targeted, or groups of the people we targeted, were those who were wearing PoutineFest shirts from past years. So they were some of the people we went to first. And it was perfect. You were absolutely right. And one thing I did want to point out, whatever you did to order that weather for that day, you got to make sure to do that year after year, because it's absolutely beautiful.
I'll try my best.
Now, one thing I did want to point out too, which I thought was cool, the very first time we ever had a stage, which was new.
Yes. Yeah, we've been getting feedback over the years, and it's something that we've always, again, we thought this would be a really small event, like 300 people. Sure. So it's something we've always wanted to do, and, we got some really great bands, Joe DeLoe and the Real McCoys, and then we had the Squeezebox Stompers from the North Shore, Mass, and just had the right feeling for this group, for what we're looking for. We got some really good feedback on that. So, yeah, it was cool to have that stage and do the Franco-American of the Year for the Franco-American Center, too. That was really nice.
Yeah. First of all, I thought it was kind of cool was that this year there was also a giant tent near where the stage was. So there was a ton of people that were just kind of hanging out, hammering their pussies in, watching the entertainment, drinking a couple beers, having a good time, which was way fun.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's what I try to think of, like, what would I want to do with these events? So definitely a giant tent crushing poutine and beers would be what I'd want to do.
Now, that's awesome. Now, you mentioned something I wanted to talk about next real quick. This is the first time, because the Franco-American Center's always presented their, Franco-American of the Year award at a separate ceremony. How did you think it went incorporating it into the PoutineFest this year?
I thought it was great. I know I'm super positive about this, but just, it exceeded our expectations. Like, we had our normal crowd from the Saint Jean Baptiste ceremony we used to have. And we also had kind of a diverse crowd from around the region observing this. So it was kind of what I'm trying to do is weave Franco-Americans / French Canadians into the overall culture of New England. So it was good to have those folks there for that. She was extremely excited. Doris Prue was very excited with how it went. We got a letter from Chris Pappas, 1st District, which includes Manchester.
U.S. Congressman.
U.S. Congressman, that's right. Yes. And he's hoping to come next year.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it was just really cool. And she seemed very excited, and the crowd gave her a great reception. And just, exactly what we're looking to do to kind of spotlight our little niche community in the greater community.
And she was actually nice enough to join us at our table, and we'll roll that interview right now.
I'm back here at the French-Canadian Legacy table, and right now is a really awesome opportunity for me. I am sitting here with this year's 2019 Franco-American of the Year, Doris Prue. Thank you so much for joining the French-Canadian Legacy podcast.
Very happy to be here.
So first of all, giant congratulations. Is this your first PoutineFest?
Yes, it is, as a matter of fact.
That's awesome. Now, how did you hear that you had won the the Franco-American of the Year?
Well, maybe about a month or so ago, Morris Demers,
Yep.
who is an official with the Franco American Center, called me and told me that I had been nominated to be Franco American of the Year.
Sure.
And it came as a total surprise to me. Frankly, I couldn't believe it. I said, "You can't be serious." And he said, "Of course." He said, "I would never call you to tell you that you're going to be the Franco American of the Year if it were true." So it was very, very exciting.
And this is an awesome year to do it because this is the very first time we presented it at PoutineFest. This is the
Yes,
first time we've
yes.
actually joined those kind of the two events together, which is way fun for us. Now, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Manchester.
Very
I was
cool.
born and raised in Manchester. As a matter of fact, I've always lived in the same house.
No kidding.
Yes,
Now,
yes,
what
yes.
side of the river are we talking? What church?
The east side of the river. I attended at the time, St. Augustine Grammar School,
Gotcha.
and
Okay.
I went to St. Anthony High School.
All right. Very
Then I
neat.
went to Notre Dame College in Manchester to
Sure.
obtain my bachelor's degree in business education
Very
because
cool.
I wanted to be a business teacher.
Gotcha.
And when I started my career at Memorial High School in 1963 in
Yeah.
Manchester,
Yep.
uh, they placed me because of my business background in the guidance department,
Sure.
and I fell in love with the work.
Very
So I
cool.
decided to go to Rivier College to get my master's in guidance.
Gotcha. And
So I was in education for 38 years altogether.
always in guidance?
No, the I would say after the first 6 years, I was a full-time guidance
Gotcha.
counselor. And then the last 21 years, I was the director of the guidance department at West High School.
Very cool. Now,
Yes.
now that must have been pretty unique. I mean, I guess depending on the years you were at West High School, because even when I was growing up, there's still a pretty significant French Canadian descended population
Very much so,
that went to
especially on
that
the
high
west
school.
side of the
Yeah,
river. My father grew up on the west side of the river.
yeah, very
Yes,
cool.
yes.
Yeah, no, my grandmother, my mom's mom, was a St. Marie's parishioner from the west side of the river as well. So that's super fascinating. That's cool. Now I understand you got involved with the Richelieu Club in Manchester for some
Yes.
time. What have you done with them?
I've done a lot of work with the Richelieu. First of all, I joined the Richelieu Club in 2007.
Yeah,
And after a while, I became the president of the Richelieu Club.
very cool.
And for a long period of time, and I still am, I'm the recording secretary.
Nice.
And I enjoy it very, very much. It's a wonderful group of people. And we have to speak the French language,
Yep.
or else we pay a fine if we don't.
That's awesome. Now, what kind of events do you guys do at the Richelieu Club?
The Richelieu Club, we always meet at the Jutras Post on the
Okay.
west side of Manchester.
Yep.
And for the most part, we have speakers who come to us we have a very great gentleman by the name of Ed Gerard
Yeah.
from Lafayette Press, and he is the one who gets the speakers for us.
Very cool.
And they do a great, great job every time. And we sing a French song, and we pledge allegiance to the flag, and we say a prayer before and after the meal, and we enjoy a great meal as well.
That's
So,
awesome.
and
Now,
great camaraderie.
sure. Now, when you went to school in Manchester, did you have the half the day in French, half the day in
Oh,
English?
most definitely.
Yeah.
In my day, of
Yes, my
course.
parents too, actually.
Oh yeah, not you, but I'm sure
Yeah.
your parents. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, my
A
folks
morning
went.
of French and an afternoon of English, or vice versa.
Sure. Yeah, my parents went to St. George.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
yes,
that's actually the church where I was baptized
yes.
when that was still around. But so that's super interesting. Now, obviously, we have this weekend because we do PoutineFest this weekend because it's the weekend of
Yes.
Saint Jean Baptiste. So I'm curious as to your memories of that Saint Jean Baptiste Day, kind of growing up in Manchester.
Oh, years ago when I was growing up, we used to have big, big parades on Elm Street in
Yeah,
honor of
that's
St. John
awesome.
the Baptist. Oh yes, very much so. That's my fondest memory of say the Fête de Saint Jean Baptiste. And then years later we had the mass
Yep.
and then the banquet after that.
Sure.
And of course now we have PoutineFest. And as you mentioned before, this was the first time that we have the Franco American of the Year held here, which is wonderful because there's so many people in attendance.
No, that's awesome. And I did want to, before we let you go, I definitely needed to point out the fact that the Franco American of the Year, I think this is an awesome honor.
It
It
really is.
is selected by previous winners, which I think
Yes.
makes it that much more special to know that a group of people who have also been honored for their contributions
Yes.
to French Canadian culture and heritage
Yes.
have chosen you to be the one selected this year. I think is a tremendous, tremendous honor. So, giant congratulations. And welcome to the board who gets to select next year.
Thank you so much.
Well, awesome.
I'm in great company.
Well, thank you very much for speaking with us.
Thank you so much.
Mike, can I ask you one more question, which I thought was cool? Because this year, for the very first time, there were kids at PoutineFest. So I kind of want to get both your impressions on how you think that went. Because Mike actually brought Bryce, which was way cool. He brought his 4-year-old. So what was Bryce's impression of the PoutineFest?
Honestly, his favorite part was the shuttle to the event. He loves school buses. He hasn't actually ridden on one yet.
Gotcha.
We ride on trolleys in like Maine, but whenever he sees a school bus when we're driving around, he points it out. So we actually interviewed him, which you'll probably hear at the very end of the show, and he was very excited. But the face painting also, he had never gotten his face painted before, and he's obsessed with Pokemon right now, so he got a Pokeball on his face. But overall, he was talking about the shuttle.
That's awesome.
The most, but he seemed to have a blast.
Yeah, did you check out the kids area at all during the event? Because the people that we ran into over there seem to be having a really good time.
Yeah, I'm during the event. I'm usually just circulating, looking to see if I can, what's going on, how things are working. And it did seem like that went really well. It's an interesting situation. What I'm trying to do with the kids is introduce the culture that I feel like, just from my friends, hasn't been introduced before. So right. So we're teaching them what it means to be Franco-American, or showing them, the symbolism, fleur-de-lis. People are using French. There's poutine, which, I didn't know what it was till I was in my 20s, but also mixing in some things they're used to seeing: ice cream, T-shirts, face painting, hula hoops.
Sure.
All kinds of different friend groups from the area. So that was, I thought it went really well. We definitely have some takeaways to kind of build on that. That's definitely not where we're going to end with it. We got some really, of course, great feedback from our attendees, and it was a little windy, so we couldn't do some of our bounce activities. We had some blow up stuff. Yeah.
That would have been crazy.
We actually interviewed one family from Connecticut whose children were in high school and middle school, I believe, and they were trying to start more French immersion in their school, and they were very excited to be there.
Jesse Martineau, here in line for the PoutineFest. And who am I talking to this time?
Lauren.
Lauren, who else? Who will you have with you, Lauren? You came with the crew. We got Taylor.
Michelle.
And Tom. Awesome. So where are you guys from?
Connecticut.
Where? This is awesome. Where in Connecticut?
Burlington.
Okay, so how far a ride is that to come to the PoutineFest?
Almost 3 hours.
3 hours. This is the second group we've talked to that have come 3 hours to come to PoutineFest. This is very, very awesome. Now, how many PoutineFests have you attended previously?
This is our second one.
Second PoutineFest. Awesome. So you know what to expect when you get here.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. And when did you come last year?
Yes. Yep.
Now you got a lot better weather this year.
Oh, perfect. Flawless.
Awesome. So how did you guys even hear about PoutineFest?
A friend of mine from New Hampshire messaged me through Facebook about this. And so my daughters are studying French in school, and I thought,
cool.
And I'm originally from New Hampshire, so I
Very
thought,
nice.
oh, this is perfect.
Where in New Hampshire are you from?
Berlin.
Oh, all kinds of French people up in Berlin,
Yeah.
for sure. Awesome. Well, that's really, really neat. We haven't talked to a lot of people on our podcast from Connecticut. We've had Vermont and a lot from Maine. Is there a French-Canadian presence at all in Connecticut?
There's
Probably less than Berlin, I would imagine.
There's the Alliance Française in Hartford.
Very nice.
But that's about it. And my daughters are trying to build a French club in school.
That's awesome.
To sort of help grow the interest.
Very cool. You guys need to assist with that. Seriously, let me know. We can point you to people who can help out, no doubt.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, we got people trying to do stuff all the way through New England and try to help spread our cultural and identity.
Yeah, my daughter Taylor actually is starting what is it called? A
French Immersion Club.
French Immersion Club in her high school.
Very awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. All right, very, very cool. Now, how do you guys have poutine in Connecticut?
Well, ironically, there's one restaurant down the street from where we live called the Greenhouse Cafe.
I love this place
that
already.
Makes the most fantastic poutine.
Legit poutine.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
All right, very cool.
So.
Anything else? Yeah. We're good. All right, well, thank you very much, guys.
It was our pleasure.
That's cool. That's exactly what we're looking to get. And I felt like I met people from all 6 New England states, because I basically walk up and start talking to people, like kind of like you guys were. and I saw every single state represented, which was kind of cool. And I met some folks from Western Canada too who had some comments on the poutine, but they always do. That's all right. I am not a traditionalist. I like traditional poutine, but I also like to try something different. So I can't eat 10 of the same thing constantly. So anyway, that's a whole different debate.
And my wife had never eaten it before. And
oh, no way.
She really enjoyed it. She was able to have 5 samples before Bryce was dragging towards the end. He's younger. It's a sunny day.
And so he came around with us for a long time.
He was carrying the microphone.
He was carrying microphones for us as we were going around interviewing people.
But she loved it.
Okay, so we're here back at PoutineFest, hanging out actually at the French Canadian Legacy table with Mike's wife, Burrell, about to try her very first ever poutine. Burrell, how excited for you about this poutine?
Very excited.
Now, where did you get this poutine from?
The Flight Center.
The Flight Center from Nashua, New Hampshire. Okay, give it a whirl.
Okay.
All right, so this looks like kind of a non-traditional poutine. Looks like it's got some tater tot action. Looks like we got some beef gravy of some kind and a non-cheese curd cheese. All right, so what are your initial thoughts?
It's good. It's good. I like it.
We're excited to try the rest of the poutine.
I'm very excited.
All right, awesome.
Awesome.
All right, now, finally, what did you think of the game? The very next day, Franco-American Day at the Park.
So we had a blast with the game. I know. Again, I'm so we're obviously excited how well this is all going. We had a blast with the game. A good friend of the Franco-American Center, Luc Trepanier, came down from Saint-Hyacinthe, Quebec, and he had a game on Saturday during PoutineFest. He couldn't make PoutineFest with a team from Nashua. That went really well. I got to meet those kids. They brought 16 children to the game. We went up to Luxury Box that Fisher Cats had hooked us up with, and we actually had some kids that had come to the Franco-American Center Prêt à Parler, which means ready to speak or ready to talk.
Very cool.
To kind of get to know some of the folks who had come from Quebec. We had volunteers from the PoutineFest up in our booth, in our box. So, it just went really well. And, if he hears this, Mo Demers definitely threw a strike in the first pitch. But, no, it was a great way for us to kind of wind down. But also, we had the announcer from the Capitale du Quebec at the game.
That was so cool.
That was really cool. I think it's a day Quebec.
All the announcements in French. It was awesome.
Yeah, and there people like, oh, his accent's spot on. Oh, gee.
I can't imagine why that is. Yeah.
Right. Anyway, yeah, we had a good time.
All right, so we're back here at Vendor Row here at PoutineFest. And who am I talking to right now?
Stephanie Fournier at the New Hampshire Fisher Cats.
The New Hampshire Fisher Cats. This is way cool that you guys are still involved. All right, so what brought you to show up here at PoutineFest?
So we're actually still doing Franco-American Heritage Day. It's tomorrow, so we're making a whole weekend of it. So today's PoutineFest, and then we've got everybody coming out tomorrow. If you kind of look right here behind me, we have a Expo-style Franco-American Center jersey. And the proceeds for that just go right back to the center. We're going to be having a French PA announcer.
Very cool.
Lots of different things going on tomorrow, so we're looking forward to partnering with Franco-American Center for that. And if you go around somewhere, Fungo's here too. Fungo is here, our mascot, hanging out and saying hi to everybody.
Now, if somebody wants one of those jerseys, did they have to show up at the game? Is that the only way to get the jersey?
Yes, if they're here today, they can do some pre-bids, but you have to be at the game to bid on those jerseys tomorrow.
Okay, now I did note before we started that you do have a Frenchy name, like myself, so that's very awesome. So where are you from?
So I was born in Montreal, actually.
Oh, that's awesome. Very cool.
Yes. And then my dad's from New Hampshire. My mom is from Halifax area. And so they met up in college up there and then moved to Montreal, had me. And then a couple years later moved down to New Hampshire. So my whole family now lives in Ottawa, all my aunts and uncles. Wow. So we go up there all the time. Just visited the Parliament buildings last month, actually.
That's amazing. Yeah. Now, I understand you have the same situation I do, where both your folks can speak French to each other, but you don't understand it at all.
Correct, and they've loved my brother and I. They just talk right in front of us, whatever they're talking about. Surprise, different things, and we have no idea, and they loved every second of it.
That's awesome. All right, so if our listeners want to get information on the Fisher Cats, find out your schedule, promotions you guys are running, where should we send them?
nhfishercats.com, and we are also on Facebook and Twitter.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Stephanie.
Thank you so much.
All right, very, very cool. And finally, who won?
The winner was the Foundry from Manchester, New Hampshire. Matt Provencher, who works at the Foundry, is the executive chef over there, has been with us since day one. He did a lot of things for the Franco-American Center back in the early 2000s. He's been a chef around Manchester for a long time, and has been super supportive of the event. And I always joked them like, dude, you're going to win this year. And like all his staff was like, dude, don't come around again. Stop. Don't say it. Don't say it. So we were really excited for them to finally take the belt home, and they're going to hang it over the bar. And it's going to be, it's just a really good for them. And, we're happy to see them win.
That's awesome. And we did get the opportunity to talk to him both before and after he won, which was very cool.
Okay, we're here at the station of the Foundry, and I'm speaking with
Matt Provencher. I'm the executive chef.
Matt Provencher, awesome. Well, first of all, welcome to PoutineFest. Have you been here before?
I've been here since day one.
This is the day one of the PoutineFest. This is PoutineFest number 4 for you.
Yes.
Very cool. Now, how did you even find out about the event to begin with?
The guy who runs it, Tim,
yeah,
was a big fan of the restaurant, and we've always done poutine at the restaurant.
So poutine, a regular menu item for you guys.
Yes.
Awesome. It has been since you guys started?
From day one.
That's amazing. Now, can you describe your poutine for us then?
We use fairly local cheese curds. I found a farmer up in Fort Covington, New York.
Cool.
That makes these amazing cheese curds, so we start with that. We make our own gravy. It is beef and duck based.
Nice.
And then we just use really good fries.
That's awesome. Now, where is your restaurant?
It's in Manchester, right off of 293.
Very cool. And if somebody wanted to find information about your restaurant, where would you send it?
The website?
Yes.
FoundryNH.com.
FoundryNH. Awesome. Well, thank you very much, sir.
Yes.
Okay, I'm here with Matthew Provencher, executive chef of the Foundry, the 2019 champions of the New Hampshire PoutineFest. First of all, giant congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, is this the first time you guys have won the coveted Poutine Championship belt?
Yes.
Okay, now where's the Poutine Championship belt going to go now that you are victorious?
Oh, we're debating whether or not in the kitchen or above the entryway to the restaurant.
I think that'd be a tremendous idea. Above, like over the bar somewhere?
Yes.
Very cool. Now, again, to the audience, describe what was the award-winning Poutine so people know that they show up to what to expect when they go to the Foundry.
So it's just really good cheese curd and homemade gravy and good fries.
So more of a traditional Poutine.
Oh, very, very traditional.
That's awesome. Well, Jack, congratulations, especially to a gentleman with a French last name. Always appreciated. All right, thank you much, sir.
Then coming up next will be a bunch of discussions that we had with some of the patrons at PoutineFest, some of the performers at PoutineFest, some of the restaurants at PoutineFest. There was vendors there. We talked to some of them. Just kind of give you an idea of all the various people that we had attending this event. You will notice it will not be hard to figure out when you're listening to these interviews. Everybody had an absolute blast. So we'll actually kick our interview sections off with the discussion we had with a couple of super interesting people that are right next to us. Actually, the table was right next to ours at PoutineFest from the Quebec delegation in Boston, who were very, very cool, handing out stickers to kids who came by, talking a little bit of French to them. They were really, really fun. So here's our interviews from PoutineFest, again, starting with the Quebec delegation.
And just a side note, these interviews were we did these interviews with a portable microphone. The audio quality, I tried to normalize as best as I could, but some are gonna be a little soft, some will be a little louder. So I apologize. I hope you stick around to listen. People were honestly having a blast. We had a great time. I hope you stick around and listen to all the interviews.
Yeah, I think it came out cool.
We are here at the table for the Quebec government in Boston office, and I'm here with Mary Beth Mead and Marie Jose Duquette. Thank you guys for coming to PoutineFest. So how many PoutineFests have you guys attended?
I think all of them from the beginning. We've been a partner with the Franco-American Center for who knows how many years, but yeah, with the PoutineFest from the beginning. Excited with this new location. It's
now,
a great
day. What does your office do? Like, what purpose does the office serve?
So, when you think anything Quebec, New England, that's what our office does. We really try to foster relationships between Quebec and New England, whether that be on a cultural side, like today, promoting the French language, business, helping Quebec companies do business in all of New England. And on the political side, too, of course. We're neighbors, so we work a lot together.
Right. So I guess my question is that, are you involved, because I know I spent a couple of terms as a state rep here in New Hampshire. I know it's enormous business between the state of New Hampshire and Quebec. So are you guys involved in facilitating any of that?
We are, yeah. We have a number of different collaborations with other organizations in New Hampshire. The New Hampshire Aerospace and Defense Consortium. We work a lot with formerly DRED, the state offices for economic development. So we do, anytime that there's a business from Quebec looking to do business in New Hampshire and vice versa, it goes both ways.
Now, obviously, this is an enormous week for all of
Yes.
us of Franco-American descent. What other events? You guys familiar with any other events? What else is going on in New England this weekend or this week?
So we have a lot of flag raising.
Nice.
Yes. So like in Mass, we have in Lawrence and Lowell.
Yep.
So tomorrow in Lawrence, we'll have a flag raising, and the same thing 24 because it's the official
Sure.
national day. It's 24th of
Yep.
June. So it will be in Lowell in Mass, but also we were in Lewiston 28th of June to celebrate the National Day, and we will be in Rhode Island on 27th of June. So we
Very
try
cool.
to really cover all the states,
Just
I
about
would say,
everywhere.
in New England because, as you know, a lot of Franco-American
Sure.
here. So we always enjoy to celebrate the National Day. Yeah.
Now, I understand you wrote a book. Is that correct?
Yes.
Now, can you tell us a little bit? Now, I got to plug your book because we do have listeners from Quebec. We've had quite a few reach out to us through our email, which is really neat. We have a bunch that are even visiting New England this summer because they like our podcast, which I thought was the greatest thing in the history of the world. So maybe you can tell, what is your book about?
Yeah, so my book is Une Québécoise à Boston.
Yes.
So I think the title tell everything.
Sure.
So I wrote this. So it's a traveling book about Boston, but also the area of Boston. And because I lived there for 9 years now, so
Yes.
I know the place to go,
Sure.
restaurant, neighborhood. Yes.
And where are you from originally? Because you do not have a
Montreal.
Boston accent.
Montreal. I'm from Montreal.
Very cool. And how about yourself? Where are you from originally? And how'd you end up in the
I
Quebec
am from
office?
Stratham, New Hampshire.
Okay.
And I've worked with the Quebec office for 10 years now. Studied economic development, loved the French language, so the opportunity was there.
Okay, complete hypothetical question. If I happen to know a 38-year-old podcast host who's interested in moving to Quebec for 6 months to learn French, is there any chance you guys would be able to help that guy out? Just curious. No. Okay. I just thought I'd take a shot. That's fine.
I'd love to do the same.
No problem at all. If somebody wants to contact your office, find out more about what you guys do, get further information, where should they go?
Yes, so we have a Facebook page, so it's a Quebec Boston, and also we are on Twitter, we are on Instagram, and we also have an office, so they just have to check Delegation of Quebec in Boston, so the website too.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
Very cool. Jesse Martineau, French Canadian Legacy Podcast here at PoutineFest. Super exciting. And we are standing with the very first people in line to get the Poutine. And so, can you please introduce yourselves?
Jim and Kelly Rapley.
Jim and Kelly Rapley. Now, Jim and Kelly, where are you guys coming down from?
Burlington, Vermont.
That's awesome. Now, how many years have you guys been coming to the Poutine Fest?
This is our first one.
First ever Poutine Fest. Okay, now how did you find out about Poutine Fest?
That is a great question. I think through the New Hampshire magazine.
Okay, very cool. So how long was the ride to come in for Poutine Fest?
3.5 hours.
3 hours.
Awesome, very good. Now, do you have an idea of what you have in store when you walk through those gates to go into the Poutine Fest?
We have no idea.
It's going to be a big surprise for you guys.
Well,
yes.
It will be a lot of cheesy gravy, French fry goodness.
That's it. You will absolutely have some fries and cheese curds and gravy, no question about it. Okay, now, do you guys have a lot of places with poutine up in Burlington? Is it like a popular dish?
Very popular.
Okay, and how did you discover it in Burlington? How long have you been familiar with poutine?
No, I grew up in Massachusetts.
Very cool.
And my grandparents are from Quebec, so
awesome.
I've known about it for a while.
Ah, I love that. Very cool. Where in Massachusetts?
Leominster.
Leominster, Massachusetts, and your family was familiar with poutine. All right. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate you guys talking to us. Have a great time today.
Thank you.
Okay, stop it again in line, the VIP line here at PoutineFest. We had to stop because we saw 3 ladies with hilarious shirts Let's say cheese curds and fries and gravy. Very cool. Welcome to PoutineFest. Or what are your names? Can you introduce yourself for us, please?
My name's Allison. I'm Tiana.
Brittany.
Yeah.
Shannon.
All right, cool. Where are you guys coming from?
Essex, Vermont.
Essex, Vermont. That's the second person we've talked to from Vermont. The very first people in line were from Burlington, which is kind of neat. So how long was the ride for you guys?
About 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours. You came into town just for PoutineFest.
Yes.
Oh, I love this. This is very cool. Now, how many of these have you been to?
This is our first one.
First ever PoutineFest. This is fun because every year I meet people from every single New England state, so this is really cool. Now, how did you even find out about PoutineFest?
I think through Facebook.
Gotcha. So you just had friends who were like, hey, we got some cheese curds. You better show up. This is cool.
Pretty much.
I like that. Very awesome. Now, in Essex, Vermont, do you guys have a lot of poutine? Is this something that's around town at all?
Not in Essex. You have to go into Burlington. Nectar's in Burlington has really good poutine.
This is the really good poutine. That's the place to be. Now, how did you even discover poutine then, if you weren't from a town that had a lot of poutine?
We're 45 minutes from the Canadian border.
That's awesome. All right, good reason. All right, back in line here at PoutineFest, and we ran into another couple of people with absolutely awesome shirts.
Yeah!
J'aime la poutine. First of all, what are your names?
Roslyn?
Roslyn and
Melanie.
Melanie. Where are you guys from?
New Hampshire.
Whereabouts?
I'm in Milton Mills.
Milton Mills.
Rollinsford!
Rollinsford. Okay, should we pretend to know where either of those places? I'm not going to pretend to know where these are.
Thanks a lot.
You're
or we
fine.
could just say Portsmouth.
Okay, near Portsmouth. Seacoast. We're on the Seacoast. I like that. Very cool. All right, so how many of these PoutineFests have you guys showed up for?
3 of the 4.
3 of the 4. All right, so.
Haven't you been to all of them? No, they've been like 5 or 6 of them.
No, this is our 4th.
Yeah. Oh, this is the 4th. You told me about the second. But I didn't make it to the first one because you were the first one that came with me. So yeah, this is like our third. 3 out of the 4.
3 of the 4 PoutineFest. Very cool. Now, how did you guys even hear about this event?
She told me. I want to say it was like Facebook or MySpace.
Gotcha. So you just said.
I did.
That's
I
awesome.
did say
That's
MySpace.
old school. I like that.
It was social media.
I like that. Okay, cool. And now, do you guys have poutine in the Seacoast? Is that like a thing?
Yeah, we do. There are a couple of places that serve it.
Okay, cool. And how did you guys discover poutine? Just through random restaurants on the Seacoast?
When I went to Quebec as a, I don't know, high schooler, there were a couple of places I got to try it. So I was aware of what it was about 20 some odd years ago. That was a long time.
Yes, and they don't know how young we look.
I know.
Yeah, that's
very true.
You should just leave it at high school.
It's all right.
High school.
I'm 20 years removed from high school, too. It's fine.
We would go to, Canada. That's what you do.
When you turn 18. That's exactly right. I just said that to a group way in front.
We had poutine.
Nice.
That's what you do.
Did you go to Montreal or did you go to Quebec City?
We went to Quebec City.
Oh, I got you. All right, well, very cool.
I've had it in Montreal.
You have.
Le Banquier, and you can get Le Banquier. You can get any kind of poutine you want, and the T-Rex poutine is amazing.
What is T-Rex poutine? What is that?
It has hot dogs.
Wow,
sausage,
I love hot dogs.
Bacon, and ground hamburg.
I love all these things. That's a meat-loaded poutine.
Yep, it's
all right.
wonderful.
So you guys know what to expect then, because you guys are poutine veterans.
Yeah, we sure do.
You also understand this is by far the best weather that we have ever had at a poutine
This
fest.
is beautiful. It's not too hot. Last year was very hot.
We got poured on, and then it rained.
And it rained.
Yes. And then the 2 years before, it was 100 million degrees.
Yeah, it was so hot.
All right, cool. Well, thank you guys for coming again. Awesome shirts.
Thank you.
Okay, we're here at the station of the North End Bistro. And who am I speaking with?
Becky and Jesse.
Awesome. Well, welcome to PoutineFest. How many years have you guys been coming to PoutineFest?
This is actually our first year. We're one of the newer restaurants. We've been open for about a year and a half now. And one of our customers actually recommended us to PoutineFest.
Very cool.
And they reached out to us and asked us if we'd like to be here. So we
That's
said
awesome.
sure. It sounded like a fun time.
Oh, I love that. So, poutine is a regular menu item for you guys?
We do have it on our menu right now. We recently added a fryer in when we did a small kitchen update.
Nice.
So we have classic poutine, and then what we did today was a short rib poutine.
Now, is the short rib poutine about to be a menu item at your
that
place?
one's on there right now.
That's the one.
Yes.
That's the
So
one for
both
real.
of them are on there right now.
So if they show up at the North End Bistro, they can expect to see a short rib poutine in the menu.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. Okay, now where is your restaurant?
It's in Manchester, New Hampshire, and we're on 1361 Elm Street, which is on the corner of Elm and Myrtle.
Elm and Myrtle. Okay, cool. Headed towards the North End of Elm. Very good. Now, if somebody wanted to find more information about your place, where would you send them?
The best place to go would be our Facebook page. Absolutely. We respond to messages pretty
Sure.
quickly, except for maybe when we're working the Poutine Fest. But usually we answer within a couple minutes. You can always give a restaurant the call to 603-232-3527. We do reservations for parties of 6 or more right now because we are a smaller restaurant.
Sure.
But usually our Facebook page is the best place to go. We are on Instagram as well. We post our specials online and everything, so you can know in advance what your plans are for the weekend.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, we're here at the station of the Red Arrow, and who do I have joining me right now?
Kayla and Caitlin.
From the Red Arrow, very cool. Now, how did you guys even find out about PoutineFest?
So my dad is actually the general manager, the man here right now.
Very cool.
He likes bringing me to all of these things, so I was like, yeah, I guess I'll do it. And then Caitlin usually comes to like Chili Fest and stuff like that, so I got dragged along.
Very nice. Now, how many years have you guys been doing the PoutineFest?
This is our first year, but I believe Red Arrow has come in the past before, a few years ago, I think.
Gotcha. Now, it is Poutine an actual menu item at the Red Arrow?
Oh yeah, we have this whole Poutine bar, and you can add like chicken tenders, eggs, kielbasa, bacon. Literally, you can add anything. Chorizo, anything you want.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, now where can we find the Red Arrow?
You can find it in either Concord, New Hampshire, Milford, Londonderry, or the original in Manchester.
All right, cool. And if somebody wanted to find information on the Red Arrow, where would you send them?
You could go to redarrowdiner.com, and it will give you all the information to all of our locations.
All right, very cool. Thank you for joining us, guys.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
So we're here live again for PoutineFest. Who am I speaking with right now?
Hello, my name is Tyler.
Tyler, where are you coming from?
I am coming from Manchester, New Hampshire.
Manchester, New Hampshire seems like a pretty easy commute down to PoutineFest.
Very easy.
Awesome. Now, how many of these PoutineFests have you attended?
I have been to the Ottawa National Poutine Festival in Canada itself.
That's
I am
amazing.
a frequent Canadian salad eater. I love it. I can't get enough of it.
Okay.
I would eat it every day if I could.
So you're kind of an expert when it comes to the poutine.
I'm not an amateur when it comes to poutine.
Okay, so what is your favorite poutine place then?
I'm still adjusting to the area. My favorite all time is I used to live in Rochester, New York. There's a place called Tap and Mallet.
Gotcha.
You get the bacon and scallion poutine.
Nice,
with
nice,
extra
nice.
bacon.
Okay.
Maybe add some like other meats on there.
All right.
The best.
All right, very cool.
You find yourself in Rochester, you go to Tap and Mallet.
All right, that's good to know because we do probably have listeners who come from that area, so it's going to be really appreciated. I'm sure they're going to like the plug.
Yep.
Now, how long have you been in Manchester then?
Since October.
Since October. Okay, then how did you find out about this PoutineFest?
My friend right here, his name's Matt. I think he caught us onto it.
Matt seems like an amazing guy then.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
All right, very awesome. And how many of these PoutineFests have you here, New Hampshire, have you been to? Is this your first?
This is my first one.
This is your very first New Hampshire PoutineFest.
I love poutine so much. I got married back in October.
Yes.
I had a poutine food truck at my rehearsal.
This is amazing. You are the greatest interview we've ever had.
Thank you.
In the history of the French Canadian
that.
Legacy
I
podcast.
appreciate
All right,
that.
enjoy the rest of your time, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Have a good one, dude.
All right, we're back here at Vendor Row here at PoutineFest, and I had to stop by. One of our vendors apparently has a giant British flag. So who am I speaking with?
My name is Carolyn. I'm from Fat Face.
Fat Face. So what is Fat Face? I love the name, by the way. What is Fat Face?
It's a British clothing brand. They've been around for about 30 years in the UK, and we have 18 stores in the US so far, all around New England.
All right, very, very awesome. And, what kind of attire are we selling here today at
So
PoutineFest?
in stores, we sell men's, women's, and kids clothing, but I just have our famous Airly here today. So it's a 100% cotton sweatshirt for men, women, and kids.
Very cool. And how did you find out about PoutineFest?
I found it on Facebook, actually.
Very awesome. And have you ever attended PoutineFest before?
No, I was here for Ribfest last week.
Nice.
And I was like, hey, 2 weekends in a
There
row,
you go.
let's go back to Merrimack.
Absolutely perfect. All right. Now, are you from the area?
I'm from Beverly, Massachusetts.
Beverly,
But
Mass.
I work at our Burlington, Vermont location.
So you came in from Burlington
Yes.
to sell some merch today.
Yes.
I love that. Very cool. Now, if some listener wants information on where they can get your product, where should we send them?
You go to fatface.com. We have a listing of all our U.S. stores, and I'm sure you have one close to your hometown. They're all over the place.
I love it. Thank you very much.
No problem.
All right, we're back here here at PoutineFest. Excuse me. We're talking to another person on Vendor Row, and who am I speaking to right now?
I'm Dr. Phil Filardo. I'm from Live Free Chiropractic.
Live Free Chiropractic. All right, very cool, Doctor. Now, where are you guys based out of?
We're in Nashua, right off Exit 1.
Awesome. Now, what brought you to PoutineFest?
Oh, well, for one thing, my ancestors come from Quebec.
I love that. Right answer.
Who doesn't love French fries, gravy, and cheese.
Very cool.
And also, looks like it's going to be an awesome event.
Now, how'd you hear about the event?
I don't know. I heard about it the last couple of years, and then when I heard they were moving it to Merrimack, I was psyched because that's pretty close to Nashua, where we're based out of.
And we have a ton of space here, which is so much better than past years.
Oh, yeah, and it's a beautiful day, too.
All right, very awesome. But no, so say somebody was interested in your services, where can we send them?
Yeah, www.lfchiropractic.com. LF like live free.
And anybody who wants take brand new, take referrals, just anybody can walk in.
Absolutely, we love helping everybody, and we do very gentle chiropractic with no twisting, popping, or cracking.
That's awesome. All right, I may take you up on that. Thank you very much, sir. We're at PoutineFest, and who am I speaking with now, sir?
Ben Lees.
Ben, and I understand you are the man responsible for the greatest logo in the history of PoutineFest logos, correct?
I suppose so.
Awesome. Well, it's going over huge. It's been really well received. How did you end up working for us here at the PoutineFest?
Well, I've known Tim forever,
Yes.
since either late college or my early 20s, and when he started talking about doing PoutineFest a couple years ago, we started talking about what we could do for branding. I did the initial one, and then after coming to the event for a couple years and seeing it kind of out in the wild, so to speak,
sure,
I had some ideas of how it could kind of evolve and where it would work better on a shirt and work better on the bags and signage and things like that. So we kind of evolved it into this seal that works really well for an event like this because it's really clear and is easy to put on a lot of different products. And
that's awesome. And is this what you kind of do for a living? Is this your day-to-day job?
Yeah, I'm a designer for an agency in Newburyport called Matter. Been doing this stuff for about 16 years.
Okay, cool. Now, if somebody comes to PoutineFest, they sees the logo, they're like, that's the most amazing logo I've ever seen. I want to hire this guy to work for me. Where can they find your contact information? How can they get in touch with you?
They can go to benleese.com, just BENLEECE.com, and that's my website. They can take a look at my stuff, and there's a contact form right there.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hi, we're back here at PoutineFest talking with one of the performers today. And who am I speaking with?
Becky Tracy.
All right, Becky, which group are you here with?
So I'm actually here with my husband and my son, and our group name is either the Murphy and Tracy family or Keith Murphy, Becky Tracy, and Aiden Murphy. So
there you go.
A lot of words.
All right, I like that. So how did you end up here at PoutineFest?
My son and I came when it was at the ball field 3 years ago.
Sure.
And we thought it was really exciting and fun. So when they offered us to come again, even though it was the day after my son's graduation from high school, he was like, sure, I'll
That's
come
awesome.
again. It's
well,
fun.
Congrats to him. That's
Yeah.
very cool. Now, what type of music do you guys play?
So we play a mix of stuff, but what we played today was the French Canadian, of course.
Yep.
And some French. We like to play tunes from Brittany. And
Awesome.
so we do a mix of that, but we also play other styles of sort of northern music.
Gotcha. No. So how were you introduced then to the traditional French music? I'm curious.
The French Canadian?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, my husband's from Newfoundland.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
And he grew up having to speak French, which he loved.
That's great.
But sort of went across the country and got immersed into various kinds of playing. And we are both from Vermont now. And,
nice.
So being in this area, when you're in Vermont, you're just really close to the Quebec border.
Sure.
And there's a lot of French Canadian music around, and it's really fun and happy, and we love to play it.
No, that's awesome. Now, if somebody wanted to listen to your stuff, where can we send them? Or wanted to book you guys for a show, where can we refer them to?
Okay, so www.blackislemusic.com.
Awesome. And they can pick up music and books, and booking
exactly.
for events, everything right from that website.
Exactly.
Awesome. Okay, well, thank you very much for coming to PoutineFest.
Thank you very much.
All right, very cool. So we're here again at PoutineFest talking to a couple of the performers. So who am I speaking with?
Morgan Bailey.
Morgan and?
Miranda Tangway.
Okay, where are you guys from?
We're from Sanford, Maine.
Sanford, Maine. So how long was the trip in for you guys?
About 2 hours.
Okay, not terrible. So what brought you to PoutineFest? How'd you guys end up performing here?
Well, our dance team, Northern Explosion Dance Studio, we were invited here to come dance, and it's been really cool so far, and it's really cool.
Awesome. Now, have you ever had Poutine before?
No, I have not.
This is gonna be the first time. So you haven't had any yet?
We have had some.
You have had some. What'd you think? What was your initial impression?
I liked it a lot.
All right, I like that. Very cool. So, you guys got another performance, or are you guys done for the day?
We do have another performance over at the small stage.
Oh, we're on the stage. All right, cool. So the first time you were just entertaining the people in line. Second time you get to be at the line.
Yep.
That's awesome. And you guys even played I heard you guys had a French song going there.
Yeah.
When did you guys learn that number?
Wednesday.
Wednesday. You ever heard that song before?
No.
Well, grateful for you guys, because that song happens to be the intro song for the greatest podcast ever. So you guys should check out, because you guys are going to be on it on July 2nd. So thank you guys for talking to us. Appreciate it.
Yep.
All right, I'm here at the French Canadian Legacy table with Monique Martineau, owner of the Northern Explosion Dance Studio. Monique, thank you for talking to us.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Okay. Came down from Sanford, Maine, from what I understand.
Yes.
Now, obviously, before we get going too far, I do have to confess, Monique is my sister. That's why we have the same
That
last
I am,
name.
sadly. I'm just kidding.
So, you live in Maine now.
I do.
But you're always going to be from Manchester, New Hampshire.
Correct.
Now, is this your first PoutineFest?
This is my very first PoutineFest.
Got you. Now, what are you thinking so far?
Pretty awesome.
What are your impressions
Pretty
of the PoutineFest?
awesome. This is an awesome, cause. Love to support the Franco-American Society and the French-Canadian culture in general. But there's a good turnout, great weather, good music, good food, fun.
Awesome. Now, what brought you to PoutineFest?
Well, we were just kind of, I own a dance studio that we primarily teach clogging, which there's a huge influence of Canadian step dancing involved. So when, the PoutineFest was looking for entertainment, it was something I thought, oh, this might be a good fit for, my girls to also learn a little bit about French Canadian society, but also show what we do up in Maine.
Sure. Now, how many dancers did you bring with you?
Today, I only brought 12 with me.
Okay, cool. And now, we've talked to a bunch of people from Maine on our podcast so far. Do you find that a lot of the students that you work with have memes and pepes? Is there a lot of French Canadian influence where you are in Maine?
I think so, especially in Sanford. Sanford's also a former mill town.
Sure.
So I think there is a lot of my students have memes and pepes, but I don't think it's as prevalent even though as when I was growing up.
Gotcha. Now, I'm going to say that I hope this is not the final time we hear from Monique on the French Canadian Legacy podcast.
That's a little pressure.
Here it is. I'm going to try to get her to do another episode with us. Actually, my preference would be for her to host an episode.
Oh,
but
boy.
I'm going to say this is the last time you will hear Monique Martineau on the podcast. Because in less than 2 weeks, my sister's getting married. So, giant congrats to you.
Thank you. Yep, changing the last name, though. So it's going to be an interesting combination. I'm not going to have that full French name anymore.
That's it. You're going to have to explain to people, though.
Yeah, I'm going to have to explain why I have a French name with an Irish last name.
That's right. So, last question, because I cannot let you leave here, without bringing up some topic that came up a couple of different times on our podcast. Our meme, Irene Preventure, my mom's mom, someone you were very close with. And so far, I've spoken to a ton of people on the podcast, and not a single one has ever heard of putting nuts in pork pie.
First of all,
she did. I need
to
confirm she did do this.
It's confirmed. She did a cinnamon nuts instead of potatoes combination.
Now, if anybody has it, I'm thinking it might be you. Do you have the recipe for this?
I don't have a recipe for any of it.
Okay, we're gonna.
I just know it's pork butt. That's all I know. She told me you gotta have pork butt.
Pork butt with the nuts.
Yeah, that makes the pork pie. You don't just get any pork; you get pork butt.
Well, I appreciate you talking to us, buddy.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you very much.
You're welcome. All right, enjoy the rest of PoutineFest 2019.
We're here on Vendor Row here at PoutineFest, and who are we speaking to right now?
This is Phil Pelletier from Smokin' Tin Roof.
Smokin' Tin Roof. And what exactly is Smokin' Tin Roof?
Well, we're actually a specialty hot sauce.
Very cool. Where are you guys from?
We're from Manchester.
Very nice. Now, what brought you to PoutineFest?
Well, to take and get our name out, to take and show that we're a specialty sauce, we're not just a average hot sauce.
Very cool. Now, where can people get your product?
Well, we are in a couple of locations. We're at the Mall in New Hampshire at the Manchester Craft Market.
Gotcha.
And we're also at the Pheasant Lane Mall.
Awesome. Nashua.
Correct.
All right, we want to make sure because not all our listeners are from New Hampshire. But so if somebody wants to get in touch, get some information on your product, on your company, where can we send them?
They can go to our website at smokeandtinroof.com.
Very cool. So, is this the first time you've attended PoutineFest?
Yes, it is.
All right. Do you have any idea what you're in store for today?
No, we are not.
All right, it's going to be a blast. I can tell you that. All right, well, thank you guys for coming.
All right, thank you.
All right, so we're here at the station of the New England Tap House Grill. And first of all, who am I speaking with right now, sir?
My name is John Phelan. I'm the GM over there.
GM. Okay, cool. So, have you guys come to the PoutineFest before?
Yes, I believe this is our second or third year. Yeah.
Gotcha. Very cool. And how did you even find out about this event?
Just being in the industry, we get a lot of requests for stuff, especially the poutine. We're pretty well known for ours.
So you guys have poutine just on your menu for every day?
This is what you're eating is what we serve in the restaurant.
Very cool. Now, where are you guys located?
We are in Hooksett, New Hampshire, 1292 Hooksett Road.
Very cool. And if somebody wanted to find information on the Tap House, where would you send them?
TapHouseNH.com.
Very cool. And if you go, you can show up at the Tap House. They'll get you some poutine. That's correct?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
All right. Awesome. Thank you very much, sir.
Hey,
Appreciate you coming out. All right, so we're here at the station of the Arbor. And who am I speaking with right now?
You're speaking with Justin.
Justin from the Arbor. Very
Yes.
cool. Now, how many years have you guys been doing PoutineFest?
How many for the Poutine Fest?
Yes.
This is our first year.
First year. Okay,
Yes.
cool. Now, do you have poutine on your menu?
We do. We have it's as listed as an appetizer. It's the Nashville Poutine, and you get a very generous portion plate of fries, topped with some cheese curds, and then our demi glaze that we served here today.
Very cool. Now, what is this demi glaze about? You have me curious.
That is a question for our back of house prep guy.
You can just consider it a different spin on a beef gravy.
Different spin on a beef gravy.
Okay.
That's what it'd be. A different spin on a beef gravy.
That's awesome. All right, cool. Now, where is your restaurant?
It's located at 57 Palm Street, which is off of West Hollis Street, just a few quick minute walk from Main Street in Nashua.
In Nashua. Okay, cool. Now, how did you guys find out about this event to begin with?
Tim reached out to us a couple months ago asking if we wanted to participate, and of course we did.
Very cool.
A very good opportunity for some publicity as well. So
absolutely. Now, if somebody wanted more information about your place, where would you send them?
So there's a couple places they could go. I would recommend the Facebook page, the Arbor Restaurant and Function Facility, because we also are a function. We do have a function facility attached to the establishment.
Very cool.
So definitely the Facebook page and arbornh.com. You can also find updates and all that, but I would stick to social media, especially the Facebook page, is where we put all of our updates, like here, community events, menu changes, specials, and such. So.
All right. Well, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Yeah. All right, so we're here in line here at PoutineFest. Who are we speaking with now?
This is Michelle.
Michelle, where are you from?
We're from Nashua.
Nashua, very cool. Now, how many of the PoutineFest have you attended?
This is our very first one.
Very first PoutineFest. First of all, who are you here with?
Well, I'm actually, with my family, my husband and two of my boys. This is Liam and Joey, and I don't know where my husband went, but
that's all right.
My brother-in-law is actually on the planning committee he's on the Franco-American board.
Very cool.
So
Who's your brother-in-law?
Joseph Terrio.
Joe Terrio. Yeah, we know Joe very well.
Yeah.
All right, very, very awesome.
Yeah.
Now, this is the first year we can have kids here at PoutineFest, which makes it a way different event. So, now, how did you even hear about it? Was that through Joe? Is that how you found out about PoutineFest?
Well, we had heard about it, but yeah. I mean, we are my background is very Canadian, French, so
awesome.
Definitely eaten it before. And
okay, cool.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite place that you go to for your poutine?
No, I don't. I'm telling you, I'm going to find one today.
I love that answer.
Yeah.
All right, very cool. Well, enjoy the rest of your time here, guys.
Thank you very much.
All right, it's Marto here, back at Vendor Row at PoutineFest. And who am I speaking to right now?
Lisa Weaver and Laura Leach.
And where are you guys from?
I'm from Epsom, New Hampshire.
And I'm from Northwood, New Hampshire.
All right, cool. And what company are you guys here representing?
Mary Kay.
Very cool. Now, what are you hoping to do here at PoutineFest? What brought you to PoutineFest?
Well, besides the food.
Yeah, that's a good answer. I like that.
We're hoping just to generate some skincare knowledge to people and offer some free facials and beauty experiences for guys and gals.
Interesting. I think Mike just volunteered for that. But no, so that's very cool. Have you ever attended a PoutineFest before?
This is
This is
my
going to be your first time. All right.
First time.
All right. Have you guys at least had Poutine before?
Yes, yes,
No.
yes, yes, yes.
I've never had it, so like I'm really excited
All right.
to try
This is going to be
it.
a life-changing day for you. All right. Very cool. Now, if somebody wanted to get information on you guys, your business, where should we send them?
We each have our own website. They can go to marykay.com and type in Lisa Weaver.
Nice.
Or they can go to marykay.com and type in Laura Leach.
Awesome. All right. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Have fun today.
Thank you.
Okay, back in line here at PoutineFest, having a good time. And who am I speaking with?
My name's Kevin.
Kevin. Kevin, where are you coming from?
Coming from Belmont, New Hampshire.
Belmont, New Hampshire. Coming the same neck of the woods. My man Mike here is coming from. So how long did it take you guys to get in here then?
A little over an hour.
A little over an hour, not too bad. And how many PoutineFests have you guys been to?
This is our second.
Second PoutineFest. What, you guys come last year?
Yep, we went
got
to
a lot
last
better,
year's.
a lot better weather this year. We got rained on like crazy last year, so this is better.
I like this setup because you're not as crowded as it was last year.
I agree. You got a lot more space, which is way, way fun. This area is absolutely beautiful, which is very, very cool. Now, do you guys have a lot of poutine up in your area of town?
Last year's winner is in Tilton.
Okay, so not too far from you guys.
No, and usually we go the Kettlehead.
Gotcha. Now, how did you guys find out about this event to begin with a couple years ago?
My wife found out about it actually and kind of did one of those, hey, it's right around my birthday, do you want to go?
I love it. So your birthday is coming up? Well, absolutely happy birthday. You have a great birthday because it falls around PoutineFest every year. That's awesome. Well, thank you guys for coming. Enjoy. More Poutine.
Thank you very much.
Now our fathers look at us and sigh with despair, to think that everything they love we simply do not share. But the spirit never dies, our culture will survive. Each of us must choose how much to keep alive. Each of us must choose how much to keep alive.
Special thanks to Josie Vachon for providing the music. You can find more about her at josievachon.com. This podcast was produced and edited by Mike Campbell. If you have any questions or comments, please email us at fclpodcast@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at FCL Podcast for more information about the topics discussed. If you enjoyed the show, please subscribe and leave us a review on iTunes or wherever you listen to this episode.
This program is recorded at the Concord TV Podcasting Studio. The views and opinions expressed during this podcast are not necessarily those of Concord TV. The producer is solely responsible for its content.